Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today. I'm really excited to talk about all the different options, specifically assistive technology, for obtaining and maintaining employment. I'm going to share screen now. Okay, here's a quick look at our agenda for today. We are going to start with an overview of ability tools with myself, AT for obtaining employment. Then we're going to hear from California Foundation for Independent Living Centers, the program we fall under. We call it CFILC for short, and some minimum wage issues and transitioning to competitive employment. Then we're going to have a conversation with Department of Rehabilitation, DOR, on AT services and access overview. We'll also hear from Work Incentives Planning and Assistance, also known as WIPA, and in conjunction with DREL, on how benefits planning can support work goals. We'll wrap up with live Q&A where you can ask questions from all of the presentations. And we'll also have a little bit of a pop quiz, do something a little fun at the end. No worries, you're not going to be needing to call out. We can put it in the chat and you won't be graded, I promise. Moving on. I'm Amora Stahl with Ability Tools. I'm going to show how some AT can help individuals find and keep employment. So we're going to cover tools, we're going to cover services, and resources that break down employment barriers. Again, visually, this slide includes the Ability Tools logo. Really quickly, what's Ability Tools? Maybe you haven't come to one of our webinars before. Welcome. Ability Tools is California's assistive technology program. So we serve individuals of all ages and all types of disabilities. Here at Ability Tools, our goal is to help individuals access devices and services that support independence in everyday life, including today's topic, employment. Some of the core services that we provide at Ability Tools are NATADS. It's a long acronym it's not applicable to know, but it is our centralized system for tracking AT, assistive technology. You'll hear me use that interchangeably throughout the presentation today. But when I say AT, I mean assistive technology. It's just a little easier on the tongue twister there. This NATADS is going to give us real-time access to inventory across the entire AT network in California. And it's going to help manage lending. We do demos and reuse more efficiently. Speaking of demos, Ability Tools also provides device lending and demonstration centers, for short DLDCs. These allow individuals to borrow AT in a short amount of time. You can probably have them for like 30 days or so. Sometimes it varies, and try them out before making a purchase. It's a really cool program that we have. There's also like hands-on demonstrations that we do to maybe compare different devices before you decide on what you want. Ultimately, it's just to help make a fully informed decision before, and it's really nice to be able to try out different items. We also have informational and referral systems here, personalized support statewide that can help in finding the right AT solutions and guiding you there. All of this is completely free to Californians. We also have our reuse program offering gently used or donated AT devices at low or no cost. And we have trainings and technical assistance that we provide. We do virtual, we're moving back to in-person as well on a wide range of AT topics. Ultimately, Ability Tools' goal is to promote best practices, raise awareness, and support innovation in the AT field. Moving on. Visually, this slide includes an image of a man at work in a wheelchair utilizing a sip and puff device for completing laptop tasks. So what is AT? These are tools, devices, or software that help individuals with disabilities to overcome challenges and improve their ability to learn, communicate, and live independently. AT removes barriers and opens access to job opportunities by leveling the playing field, boosting confidence and independence as well, supporting communication, mobility, and productivity, empowering individuals to advocate for their needs, providing access to digital tools and training. Oops, my apologies. And lastly, simply put, AT turns possibility into opportunity. Several federal laws to know and that protect your right to use AT and receive accommodations in employment and job training settings. We're just going to go through these really quickly. You'll have this slide so you can kind of dive into the links on your own accord. But the first being the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, Title I. This requires employers with 15 or more employees to provide reasonable accommodations, which can include AT, unless doing so would cause significant difficulty or expense. We also have Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. This ensures people with disabilities, individuals, have equal access to federally funded programs, including workforce development and job training. In that same regard, we have Section 508, which requires federal agencies to make their digital content and technology accessible. The Assistive Technology Act of 2004 funds state-level programs like Ability Tools to support AT access. And finally, WIOA, or Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, supports employment and training services for individuals with disabilities and encourages the use of AT through vocational rehabilitation and other programs. By understanding these laws, we can help ensure when obtaining employment and maintaining employment that your rights are protected when requesting or using AT. Visually, this slide includes an image of an email open on a laptop. So let's start with how assistive technology supports job searching. Many job seekers, as we know, with disabilities face barriers even before they get to an interview. Just navigating job boards online and applications can be difficult if not accessible. Good news is that there are platforms that are prioritizing accessibility, such as Ability Jobs. There are more. These are just the top ones at the moment. Workforce Recruitment Program, or WRP. This is a federal initiative that connects college students and recent grads with disabilities to internships and jobs. The first one is more of just kind of a specifically designed for job seekers with disabilities, Ability Jobs. Another one specifically designed is Inclusively and Getting Hired as well. Not only do they include accessibility features on the job board site itself, but it allows job seekers, if they wish to disclose accommodation needs directly. Next slide. Visually, this one includes an image of a man on a laptop using screen zoom while searching a job board. Even mainstream job platforms are improving their accessibility. For instance, USA Jobs, the federal government's job portal, and LinkedIn have been making progresses with accessibility tips and features, as well as increasing their screen reader compatibility, caption videos, and encouraging to just use it as a digital networking tool. Additionally, I wanted to mention that if you're using AT, you can also benefit from browser extensions and settings that improve accessibility. These include maybe increasing the contrast, using keyboard navigations, or enabling voice search features. Again, writing resumes and cover letters can also be challenging for many people, especially if reading or writing or fine motor tasks are difficult. So starting with screen readers, these are going to be essential tools for individuals who may have low vision or are blind. These read text on the screen out loud and help users navigate documents, emails, really any digital content. JAWS, it stands for Job Access with Speech, one of the most widely used screen readers, especially in workplace settings. We're going to take a look at a video for that in a second. There's also NVDA, which is a free open source screen reader for Windows, non-visual desktop access. If you're a Mac user, there's VoiceOver, as well as iPhones or iPads. And then if you love to use Google, there's Chromebox, which is a screen reader designed for the Chrome browser, as well as Chromebooks. Additionally, speech-to-text tools. These are helpful for those who may have difficulty typing or just want to speak instead of write. They can convert spoken word into written text in real time. There's a lot of options. Some of the main ones are, they go from free to paid on here. So we have Dragon, Naturally Speaking, Voice Typing. Google Docs has its own voice typing. There's a great guide in this presentation on that link. There's Gboard for Android, Apple Dictation for our Mac and iPhone users, Otter AI, which is great for recording conversations or meetings and producing real-time or post-recorded transcriptions, as well as Microsoft Word and Windows speech recognition. We have a great webinar on our website for Ability Tools, our YouTube channel that Microsoft did that can kind of go into there. I did want to mention while we are on the topic of resume and cover letter and writing, that Grammarly is great for accessibility needs. It's especially helpful for those who are using speech to text and may need some support in cleaning up dictated text. Okay, so there's a really quick video. I thought it would be nice to see JAWS in action. I'm going to make sure that you can hear it. And let's play it.
What is JAWS?
Oops, I'm so sorry.
JAWS for Windows is ready.
JAWS, or Job Access with Speech, is a screen reader software designed to empower individuals facing visual challenges. Think of it as a set of eyes for your computer. JAWS reads aloud what's on the screen, allowing users to navigate websites, documents, and applications efficiently. Essentially, it's a game changer for the visually impaired, making the digital world accessible.
Facebook menu heading level 2. Link find friends. Link marketplace.
Excel app. Enter. Excel, new, Office list box, blank workbook.
Canvas dashboard, account button, courses button, math, JAWS, and Braille heading level 1.
Time's sake, I'm going to continue on that, but this is a great one to look
In
at
the world of
later.
accessibility,
Visually, this slide includes 4 images from left to right, an image of a user using Windows Magnifier on a laptop with enlarged numbers in Excel, an image of a person at a computer utilizing Supernova Magnifier, a custom black keyboard with curved split keys, and an image of a single hand keyboard. So these are great online application navigation aids. Again, these are all linked in here. We're not going to go through all the different millions that are out there, but we link them all in here. But for screen magnifiers, there's a free built-in one for Windows, or you can go paid ones like Supernova. We also have custom keyboards. There's so many different ones out there. For instance, adaptive, high contrast, specialized, Braille displays. There's customizable keyboards and keyboard alternatives. Visually, this slide includes 4 images. Top left is a black Braille display keyboard with green border. There's a whole bunch, if you click into here when you get it, a whole bunch of examples. Top right are 2 corded keyboards, one black with white font, one white with black font. Bottom left is a gray and silver ergonomic mouse, and bottom right is a black and silver trackball. For interviewing, many find interviewing stressful. So for real-time communication support, there's a lot of different tools out there that you can use. Some that we're calling to light here are Caption Call by Sorensen. We have Google Live Transcribe. There's also AAC, or Augmentative and Alternative Communication apps. Some examples are Cough Drop, Let Me Talk, Jab Talk, and Proloquo to go. Also practice tools. So practicing mock interview platforms, My Interview Practice online, Big Interview. One to call to light is Google Interview Warm-Up. This is very interesting. We're not going to play the video. You can see it once we send this out. But in essence, it is a warm-up tool. You can use it for free on Google's website and practice interview warm-ups. You can put questions in, your skills, and it will ask you questions and give you feedback. So AT for training and professional development. Accessible e-learning platforms like LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, edX, Google Digital Garage, paid ones like Skillshare. There's also Perkins e-learning. When paired with the right AT, these are really powerful tools, and they can help you become even more powerful by skill development. There's also screen readers, alternative input devices, a lot more than the ones we've showed. I also wanted to call to light apps for focus, time management, and memory, things like visual schedules, timers, reminders, different AT that you can find for free as an extension on Google Chrome or whatever your browser is. So now that we've seen some powerful AT, we can dive in deeper a little later, but we want to call out some programs that are going to support access to AT. Sometimes it's great to see it, but to know how to access it is the next step. There's the California Department of Rehabilitation, or DOR. They provide AT as part of its vocational rehabilitation service. We're going to hear more from them in a little bit. We have our GLDC from Ability Tools that we mentioned earlier, the lending centers. There's also many AT financial loan program. They're all linked in here again. We have independent living centers too. Some people don't think about these. They often help individuals identify the appropriate AT for daily living and employment in your area. There's also peer support and advocacy there. Disability-specific organizations like National Federation of the Blind, Autism Speaks, etc. There's many and many can help as well. Your school or college has a disability center that can assist. And then your Medicaid and Medicare, depending on your coverage. The important thing to take away just from this slide is that cost shouldn't be a barrier to finding the AT that you want. There's many ways to get access to it. If you ever need any help, you can always reach out to the Ability Tools team as well, and we can guide you in the right direction. We'll have our contact information at the end. Visually, this slide for disclosure and workplace accommodations includes an image of a man in a wheelchair on the computer pointing to the screen and using an alternative input device. So once you have the job or trying to decide during the hiring process, there's a great disability disclosure information site from the Job Accommodation Network, or JAN, on when and how to disclose AT needs if you feel like you would like to do so. There's also employer responsibilities under the ADA information to familiarize yourself with, as well as framing AT as a tool for productivity and inclusion, ways to enhance workplace inclusion and advocate for yourself. There are some tips there. I do want to call to light the Job Accommodations Network, or JAN, specifically as we talk about AT for obtaining employment and while maintaining employment. There is a situations and solutions finder through their website. It's an interactive tool that assists employees, job seekers, and employers to explore real-life examples of how workplace accommodations like AT have helped individuals succeed on the job. So here's how it works. You can search by disability, limitation, job function, or accommodation. Then they're going to give you back some real-life accommodation examples. Once you get these examples, you can kind of help identify practical solutions or maybe job-related barriers that you may be seeing. This is really useful for when you're preparing a disclosure conversation or even training staff. It's a great tool. Okay, so that was my spiel. There's going to be a lot of resources that we send to you so you can dive a little deeper into it, but it would be a whole webinar in itself just going through all the different AT, and I want to give our panelists some time to give you their great information. So contact and resources, you can always contact us at Ability Tools. There's that situations and solutions finder, and post-webinar, I will be sending out a resource guide with all of this information for you to kind of dive into. Okay, so I'm going to go back so you can see that. Oh my goodness. Well, it closed. I'm going to introduce our next segment. We have Russell Dawson Rawlings with our own CFILC presenting a video from an individual, Mohammed Rashid, on some minimum wage and their experience with that process. So Russell, take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi. Thank you, Amora. I am Russell Dawson Rawlings. I'm the Communication and Strategic Partnerships Manager here at CFILC. And I am going to share with you a video that we recorded with an advocate, Mohammed Rashid. So I'm going to share that with you and then briefly close out and transition to our next presenter.
Russell, you may want to share the sound if you can on your end.
I'm sorry, I'm not the one sharing the video.
Oh, my apologies, Michelle.
Give me one sec, guys. Sorry about that.
No worries. It's hard to switch that over.
I'm wearing a purple reddish shirt. Um, I am an advocate. I have my own consulting firm called Advocacy is Success, where I connect people in my area and through the state of California to other organizations that can help them uh, receive services for their independence and any other services that they may need.
Great, thanks. So your consulting work is a result of creating your own business based on your work history and your experience, navigating the world as a disabled person. Can you tell me a little bit about like what your early work experiences were like? Today we're talking a little bit about sub minimum wage employment. So I know that's for a lot of disabled people, that's where kind of the journey begins. But what was that? What were the first experiences like for you?
Well, yes. Well, I went to a program for people with developmental disabilities, and they were paying their consumers sub minimum wage, where like it would be piece rate, like by each one thing that you would do, you get like $1 or a penny. One time I got a paycheck for 1 cent, literally, in the mail. And I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. So I did that for about a year and a half. Um, and then after that, I went to Drail, um, and I became a receptionist, um, a volunteer receptionist. And I did that for about 8, 9 years. And then I went into my position at my former position with Drail, a disability resource agency for independent living, as a community organizing advocate, where I met with legislators and local leaders, and I was a part of the systems change advocate uh, community. And I was in that position about a year and a half. And then I left that position to take care of some health needs. And then after that, I decided to start my own business because I was like, if I know how to advocate with an organization and then I know how to advocate on my own. So I decided to start my own business to bring what my knowledge of the community and my experience that I learned over the years of the connections that I have with different organizations, whether it be the regional center, in-home support service, Trail. Um, I would I wanted to provide that service to other to consumers that might not know what services are out there.
Great. Yeah, I mean, your career is on an upward trajectory. You know, you said that you started with a program that you were in that was, kind of a sub minimum wage employment experience. How did you get started with that? So when you were first working, how did you get started?
Well, I'm a consumer of the regional center system,
Mhm.
that serves people with developmental and intellectual disabilities.
Mhm.
Um, and I got connected with it through my service coordinator, and I was in that position, in that program for a year and a half to 2 years, like I said, and then I decided I wanted better for myself. Not to say that the program didn't teach me anything, but I saw a bigger life and better goals for myself.
Yeah. Well,
Bigger
yeah,
and
I mean,
better,
sorry.
bigger and better, bigger and better goals for myself.
Absolutely. Well, it's so when you were, connected to the regional center, employment services is something, a service they provide, right?
Yeah.
Right. So one of the things I think that was extremely shocking to me is that you received a check for 1 penny.
Yes.
That is astonishing, right? Like that's,
Yeah. It it it
it's,
it's like it costs more to make the check than it does to give you 1 penny.
that, I mean, it costs more to print like the actual paper. It costs more to mail it. Like we're talking about probably at least a couple dollars to get
Yeah.
that check to you. So that's, I mean, I, it's that is absurd. It's kind of so it was. So just a bit of background too. 3 years ago, the state of California began the process to end sub-minimum wage employment in California. So what was happening previously is that the federal government has a process through which states can apply for these waivers, essentially. So it
Yeah.
allows certain types of businesses to pay people with intellectual and developmental disabilities less money for as you described,
Yeah.
certain types of work. Um, how tell me a little bit more. I mean, I think maybe for folks that aren't familiar, what was the work experience? What was the environment? What were you doing?
I was labeling wine bottles for they had a contract for Gallo Winery
Mhm,
here in Stanislaus County.
mhm.
And we would fold clothes for the Hope Chest. Um and after uh, uh, and they had like all like different like janitorial positions um and just like different positions there. And then after I left there, I also went to a vocational program called Vocational Coaching and Development Institute, where they helped me uh, get the community organizing advocate job over at Drail. I've always been connected with Drail, but I I went to this program that helps people with developmental disabilities look for jobs and also give on the job uh, skills and job coaching here in Modesto.
So that organization. So you basically left the original kind of works the work environment where you were doing the labels, and I'm assuming that's also where you received that 1 penny check
Yeah,
for one of
yes,
your
yes,
shifts, and transitioned into an experience where you were able to work with a different provider to get vocational training. What so First of all, what led you to? Do you remember? Was there something specific that you did to help get you into that vocational program? Like, what did you have to do to get started with the vocational training?
Well, my caseworker at the time uh was like, "Hey, Mohammed, I have a new day program that opened up that I think would be a great fit for you."
Mm-hmm.
And um so I was like, "Okay, let's go look at it." And then I made my decision the next day to join, and I'm still there 11 years later.
Oh wow! So you maintain a connection with that
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I actually attend 3 days a week.
wow,
Tuesdays, Tuesdays, no, actually 4 days a week. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
wonderful, wonderful. That's
Um,
great to know.
I've I've gained a lot of opportunities from being at this day program. I was a intern for former state senator Anthony Canella's office. I also um, did a internship with Dreo, like I said, as a receptionist, and I did a lot of I've built a lot of relationships with a lot of county board of supervisors, assembly members. Um, I was on the board of directors for Valley Mountain Regional Center for about 4 years. And then I'm still there today as a consumer representative um, on um, at the day program.
I mean, that's uh, such a great journey. Again, you're getting a great experience. Let's talk for a moment, like, how do you feel? How are you thinking about, like, how do you feel that sub minimum wage, like as a practice in California, is effectively ended? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm glad that it's effectively ended because no, no matter if you have a disability or not, or yeah, if you don't have a disability or do have a disability, you shouldn't be paid less than someone that doesn't have a disability or be kind of marginalized and segregated into a sector of a community just based on your disability.
Yeah, I mean, uh, that's such a powerful statement. I think so many of us with disabilities, we already feel so marginalized in so many spaces, right? By
Yes,
by by people's thoughts and their beliefs and so many other things, right? So we
yes,
experience, ableism in so many aspects of our lives, and having something that is actually, sanctioned and kind of approved as a path that kind of, issues one penny checks. That is unheard of, and I think, your story is one of success, and I'm
yes,
so excited that I love the name of your consulting business. Advocacy is success. I think it's such a great name. Um, so I want to talk for a minute too about, so you actually have like two things that you've been able to simultaneously experience. The a really good relationship with your regional center, and
yes,
also a connection with your independent living center,
yes.
Drail. When did you first get connected with Drail, and how did that connection happen?
Well, it's actually a funny story. I was attending an after school program, and the after school program leader um, told me about the Youth Leadership Forum,
Mhm.
YLF, and um, so I applied and I went for the interview at Drail. That they were hosting
Right.
the interviews over at Drail, and um, I was supposed to go to the YLF uh, camp, but then I got sick, so I ended up not even going to the uh, camp. And then after I got better in 2010, 2011, I um, became a volunteer, uh, what do you call it? Uh, assistant receptionist. And I did that for 8, 9 years. And then I got into my community organizing advocate position while still attending the day program.
Yeah. So, I'm hearing that you've had kind of a concurrent experience of being able to progress your career and
Yes.
also support, kind of vocationally
Yeah.
for, expanding and getting additional training and support. So, I think this is such a powerful story that when systems partner together and when they work together, great things can happen. Like you've now built relationships with, I at minimum, I hear three different kind of organizations: the regional center, the vocational program,
Yeah.
Drail, and then through that kind of partnership, you've been able to work in a large number of have a large number of work experiences. That's really great, and it's so exciting to hear that it started, when you were young and as a youth. I know that you're also for some of that time a volunteer with Yo Disabled and Proud,
Yes.
another youth program that CFLC runs. So
I actually was the Yo volunteer for Drill
right,
for about a year.
yeah, that's great. So even though you weren't able to attend YLF, you were very much active in the space with youth in California through your Yo experience too.
Yeah. And actually, before I even found out about the Yo Disabled and Proud program, I was uh, a volunteer with Drill.
Right.
So I was already connected with Drill, but yeah.
That's amazing. So, well, I really appreciate the time you've spent talking to us today. Could you, if you've got a thought, what would you tell people that with disabilities that are looking to engage in employment? Is there any advice you have for people that are just starting out?
Yes, you have a disability, but do not let that disability hold you back. And don't let anyone tell you what you can do. I love this quote by John Wooden. Do not let what you can't do interfere with what you can do. Because if you let what you can't do interfere with what you can do, you're going to always leave a hurdle in front of you and or an obstacle, and don't ever let your disability hold you back. Yeah, it might be a little bit harder, but that's what makes you stronger.
Thank you so much, Mo. I really appreciate the time today that you've spent talking with us about your employment journey. And I look forward to connecting with you. And I know that we will continue to work together. And I look forward to promoting advocacy as success as well. What are some of the best ways folks can follow you and keep in touch?
I have a Facebook. Uh, it's called Advocacy is Success. I'm also on X as Advocacy is Success, formerly known as Twitter. Um, I I also have an Instagram. Uh, Advocacy underscore is success. Um, and I will send all that information to Russell. And you can also reach me at advocacyissuccess@gmail.com.
Awesome. That was great, Russell. Thank you so much for
Thank
conducting that
you.
interview.
Thanks. And in the interest of time, I'll pass it along, but I'll be here for Q&A at the end.
Lovely. Thank you. All right, everyone. That was great. I loved the way that that ended. I appreciate Mo so very much for conducting that interview and sharing their story. Next up, we have she with the Department of Rehabilitation. She, how are you doing over there? You ready?
Yes, thank you. Thank you,
All
and good
right.
afternoon, everyone. My name is Shi Yi, and I'll be presenting services from Department of Rehab. So, all right, slide one here. Um,
She, give me 1 sec. I'm queuing it up. Sorry about that. You're faster than me.
Our time is we're running a little behind here, so I just we want to make sure we
No worries. I
get
understand.
everything running quickly here.
Okay. Okay, I think. Let me know, someone, if you're seeing this okay.
You're good, Michelle.
Okay, perfect.
All right, thank you. And thank you, Amora, for running the slides for me here. So slide one. So DOR services. So we highly, um, uh, you know, encourage employment, independence, and equality here. So yeah, we have a picture. We have a picture of a woman. So she's wearing dress. It's a black dress, and wearing a very nice necklace here on the screen for those of you who not able to see the screen. Okay, so slide two, please. Okay. Oh, where is it? Sorry. Okay. So slide two is just my information. My name is Shi. Um, I am I am the staff services manager one. Oversee the voice option assistive technology program here with Department of Rehab. Um, it has my address, has my contact info, and my email address here. Okay, next slide. So okay, so here at Department of Rehab, we administer the largest um, we administer the largest vocational rehabilitations and independence. Uh, we provide consultation, uh, counseling, vocational rehabilitation, and uh, and work with communities. So here we have let's see here, 5 pictures. So I'm going to describe the picture here. Um, so the first one is like a man running a marathon. I'm assuming is someone with a disability running on a marathon. Second picture is it's a family at a park. The picture three is a man with a formal suit, and all of these are people with disability. And then the picture four is like it's a woman here with the normal clothes on, and then the last picture is a man on in a wheelchair, about dressed in a suit. All right. Um, Next slide, please. Okay, so at DOR, we believe that um, individuals with disabilities can be fully integrated and highly productive in members, employees, and colleagues. So we have a picture here of a DOR employee, someone with a disability that works at DOR. All right, next slide. Okay, so this is our mission with here with DOR. So we work in partnership with consumers, other stakeholders to provide services and advocate in pursuit of employment, independent living, and equality for Californians with disabilities. So we have a picture of a man here working at a grocery store. Next slide, please. Um, so here at DOR, we also work in partnership with consumers to provide service and advocacy in pursuit of employment, independent living, and equality. for California with disabilities. Okay, so next slide. All right. So here's the slide here. We have a DORs we program with this program are expected to be available, responsible, active, and a dedicated contributor to their own success. So we have okay, we'll go to the next slide. Okay, here. Let's see, do I you have a picture? Sorry, I forgot to describe the picture on slide 7. So we have three people sitting at a coffee table. And it has a woman there writing on a book. Okay. All right. Okay, next slide here. So, okay, so to be eligible for DR services. So, first, they have to have a physical or mental impairment to require vocational rehabilitation services to prepare for secure or retain or regain employment. So we have a woman here. It says a woman signing a law book. Okay. Next slide. Services consumer can receive. So they can receive benefits training, career assessment and counseling, job search and interview skills, independent living skills, mobility and orientation training, career education and training, assistive technology and specialized services, case management services. Right, so those are the services they can get from DOR. All right, next slide. DOR also partnership with stakeholders. So again, we work with other stakeholders to provide services and advocacy and pursuing of employment, independent living, and equality. All right. Next slide, please. Okay, customized services. So here at DOR, we also do customized services for consumers that that need the service. So here we have on the picture we have a counselor that signs. It's a deaf counselor that do signing here. So customized service delivery we have. So we can tailor the service to meet the person's needs and ensure the greater chance for success. All right. Next slide. Okay, so here's the customized employment. The customer employment is a process for achieving competitive integrating employment or self-directed employment through a relationship between employees and employer. So this is a universal strategy that benefits many people. Includes people with disability that might not found success through other employment strategy. So back in 2014, customized employment was included in Title 4. of the First Workforce Innovation and Opportunities Act, WIOA. So this is strategy under the definition of supportive employment. All right, next slide. We also do adult work experience. So this is a work-based learning experience that offers participants the opportunity to explore competitive and triggering work. So this is they can do work in a real-time settings. So this work experience is not it doesn't have to result in permanent employment, even though some of our consumers uh, will get permanent position after that because they do so well at their site that they hire the consumer right after the adult work experience. Again, this work experience is not, it doesn't have to be an employment goal. It's just a work experience to help the consumers to get some experience, to get hands-on on an actual job. Okay. And it doesn't have to be in the individualized plan for employment. And so at DOR, we have an individualized plan for employment for consumers to follow. It's like a plan that consumer, what DOR will provide for consumers and what will the consumer needs to do to follow the plan. All right. And next slide. All right, partnership models. So we have Transition Partner Program, which is TTP. So this is a TPP program. We Can Work program. That's called WCW. Community Rehabilitation Program. It's a CRP. DOR Student Services. And this is provided by DOR staff. Summer Training and Employment Program. So for students, and it's called STEPS. And this is coming from Foundation for Community Foundation for Foundation for California Community College. And it's called FCCC. We also have workability programs and also other opportunities that. Okay. All right. So next slide. So student services provided by DOR staff. So we are job exploration counseling, work-based learning experience, post-secondary enrollment counseling, workplace readiness training, instruction and instruction and self-advocacy. So those are the ones that we have here at the student services provided by DOR staff. All right, next slide, please. Okay, so partnership model workability. So this is workability 3 that is provided through a community college. So this is a cooperative program between DOR and community college. And this is to provide supports to students with disabilities. This is to assist them in transitioning to employment. All right, next slide. Okay, DOR services college students. So we provide, we help consumers with books. We help consumers with school supplies. We cooperate contract services. We also help with pathway to success project. We also do pre-eds to work experience. We also help with TPP administrative costs. We also do work services or work activities. We do community public tuition fees. So we also do, like, for example, school transcript, registration fees, tuition, books, and supplies. We also do parking fee as well, help consumers with that, health fees, lab fee, and other fees that is related to the school. All right, next slide, please. All right, now we are to hiring people with disabilities. So, as a business, if you hire someone with the disabilities, this is what you will get. So, one, so can benefit from programs that encourage the recruitment and hiring of people with disabilities. Employees with disabilities, they bring unique experiences. There's also incentives that includes if you hire someone with a disability. For example, like tax incentives. Employers, you guys are the key to DOR mission. DOR also provide education and information to business. We can also help with integration if needed. Here at DOR, we believe that we believe in the talent and potential of an individual with disabilities. All right. So next slide here. So being employed, we have a picture here of a woman's working. They will have a higher quality of life. Will be our coming goal. It will be independent. Will be equal like others. So let me give you guys an example here. As someone who has a disability like me, when I have a job, I feel myself equal like others. I feel myself I can own a house. I can buy a car. Right? I don't have to be under government control. Right? If someone with SSI, you have limitations, you have control that you have to follow. For example, you cannot have a bank account over $2,000, or else your benefits will get cut. So okay, slides. Challenges and best practices. So first one is transparency, trust, monthly inclusive consumers meeting. So we meet with consumers, or we try to meet with consumer monthly. Staff, students, we involve staff, students, parents, stakeholder, education. All right, so All right, coming towards the end here, slide 20, next slide, please. All right, so this is how you can get started with DOR. We have a website here, it's www.dor.ca.gov. And from there, you can go to, there's a link that says Get Started or Start Here. And then you can fill the application out. There's two applications. One that includes student services. If you are in the age of 16 or 21, you can apply for student services. If you're over that, you can just do a straight application, and then that will take you. It will assign that to the nearest DOR office, and then one of the counselor they will call you and reach out to you to get service started. All right, and then if you guys have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer at the end. Okay.
That was amazing. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
very much.
Dee. Lovely information from DOR. If you have any questions, go ahead, throw them in the chat. We'll answer them at the end. We have our last presenter. We have the Work Incentives Planning and Assistance, or WIPA, in conjunction with DREL from Irene Maka. Let me get them spotlighted, or I think Ine will spotlight them. All right, thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for your patience today. I believe I have my PowerPoint shared. Is that true?
Yes, you do.
Thank you so much. All right. So welcome to WIPA. WIPA stands for the Work Incentives Planning and Assistance Program, or WIPA as an acronym. There are two images on this slide. It has the DRAIL logo. The WIPA program I represent is one of 7 in the state of California, and this one happens to be housed at DRAIL. So we have the DRAIL logo, and we also have the WIPA logo on this screen. All right, and so the next slide. Did it move to the next slide?
No, not yet, Irene. It's
Yeah,
still
not
in
yet.
the first one.
I'm so sorry.
No,
There
you're
it is.
fine.
Okay. Thank you. So breaking down the Ticket to Work program, WIPA is
It's still showing the main one. I think you have to go to start slides from the beginning, and then it'll change your screen. There you go. There you go. Breaking down your program. You're good now.
okay. Okay. All right, so there is an image on this screen. It is an umbrella with the 5 acronyms of the different parts of the Ticket to Work program. Those acronyms are the Employment Networks, or ENs, State Vocational Rehabilitation, or VR, which is Department of Rehabilitation in California, and the Workforce Employment Networks, or WF. These are all employment support programs through Ticket to Work. There's also the Protection and Advocacy for Beneficiaries of Social Security, or PABS. This is if you have any kind of legal questions based off of your rights as a person with a disability in the workplace. And the contract holder in the state of California is Disability Rights California for Ticket to Work. And the program I represent is the Work Incentives Planning and Assistance, or WIPA. We provide benefits and work incentives counseling. So a little background. I'm kind of going to go a little bit fast here because we're a little bit crunched for time. But WIPA was created as part of the Ticket to Work legislation back in 1999. There are 73 community agencies that provide WIPA services in the U.S. and the U.S. territories. WIPA projects are staffed by certified community work incentives coordinators, or CWICs. And to date, WIPA projects have served more than 750,000 individuals.
Irene, I'm so
Yes.
sorry. It's not moving your slides. Do you want me to go ahead and share for you?
Would you please? I'm so sorry.
No worries. No, you're fine. You're fine. Hold on. Let me go through. Which one are you on right now?
We're on slide 4.
4. Okay. Give me 1 sec. Go ahead and stop sharing, and then I'll take over for you. Okay. No worries. Don't worry. We have a buffer. We're okay. Slide 4. Oh, I forgot you have animations. Okay. Is this where we're at? Are we good, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
Move on and I'll keep going.
Okay. So what WIPA is? So WIPA is an acronym for Work Incentives Planning and Assistance, and WIPA provides in-depth, individualized, employment-focused benefit counseling in all 50 states and the U.S. territories. We are primarily funded by the Social Security Administration, and we're a critical component of the national effort to improve employment outcomes for Social Security disability beneficiaries. Next slide, please. So WIPA is all about work. The mission of WIPA is to promote employment and financial independence for beneficiaries of the Social Security disability programs. There are about 4 different Social Security disability programs, and they each have their own set of work rules, which is why benefits advisement is so important if you're going to work as a person receiving Social Security disability benefits. Next slide, please. So what WIPA is not. WIPA is not Social Security. So we like to say that we're going to be your advice nurse. We're going to be your contact if you have a general question. But Social Security, that's your emergency room. That's your primary care doctor. Next arrow. WIPA doesn't make benefit eligibility determinations or related benefit decisions. We can help you understand what is happening, and we can help you communicate with Social Security in a way that they'll understand. Social Security understands forms and written communication best, and so we can help you with that. We can also help you understand those letters that Social Security sends to you saying what's going on. CWICs don't provide employment services or support directly to beneficiaries. So again, we just provide the benefits advisement. If you want employment supports like job coaching or resume development, that's going to be a different part of the Ticket to Work program or a different employment support agency. Next slide, please. So the message. Paid employment and Social Security disabilities do not have to be mutually exclusive. You can work even full-time, and you can keep your Medicaid or Medi-Cal in the state of California and or Medicare in almost every case. Next. And it is possible to work and come out ahead financially even if your benefits are reduced or ceased. And it is possible to get benefits back again if they are lost due to your employment activities. Next slide. So who qualifies for WIPA? If you are an individual who receives Social Security disability benefits and you are at least 14 but not yet through retirement age, and you have an interest in employment or are currently employed. Next slide. So what can WIPA do for beneficiaries? Well, the Community Work Incentives Coordinators, or CWICs, can help you verify all the benefits that you receive, identify and connect with services or supports needed to overcome barriers to employment, understand how paid employment will affect all federal, state, local benefits that you may receive, and identify, use, and manage Social Security work incentives. Next slide. CWICs can also support beneficiaries with reporting wage information to Social Security, help beneficiaries to successfully manage benefits over time, help beneficiaries analyze healthcare coverage options, and help resolve benefit problems. Next slide. So CWIC qualifications. We do go through a rigorous background check to receive Social Security clearance in order to do this job. We also have a intensive training that we go through. It's a 2-part assessment and certification, and then we complete ongoing training annually through the National Training and Data Center. Currently, the grant is held by Virginia Commonwealth University to provide that training, and that's something that we do every year. Next slide. So how are WIPA services provided? WIPA provides remote services primarily. So wherever an individual may be located, whether it's 4 hours away, we can provide that service. Typically, we're going to use platforms like Zoom, video conferencing, virtual online meetings like Teams, email or phone and fax services. In very rare instances, if an individual requires in-person services, we can provide that. However, remote services are prioritized. Next slide. So the next few slides, I'm going to kind of skip really fast. These are examples of work incentives, and it's important to be aware of because I talk about these work incentives and it's like, great, what does that mean? So we're just going to talk about that a little bit. The first one we're going to talk about is something called the impairment-related work expenses, and these are very, very powerful. If you're a person who uses assistive technology, those can get really expensive. Those can get repetitive, recurring expenses that sometimes happen, or it can be a single device that has an upfront cost that could otherwise be cost prohibitive. So an impairment-related work expense is something that Social Security has built into their work incentive rules to allow individuals the opportunity to recognize this is something you need to succeed. So we're going to recognize that you have this expense, keep your receipts, and then as long as it's something that Social Security agrees, yes, this is something to help you succeed in the workplace, it can take a reduction out of the amount that Social Security looks at when they decide how much your actual earnings are. Next slide.
I'm just putting it so that you have it all in front of you.
Perfect, thank you. So examples of work incentives continued, the blind work expense. This is something that is specific to individuals within the SSI program, and this is something that is specific to individuals whose disability of record with Social Security is statutory blindness. So the great thing about the blind work expense is that it does not have to be related to the individual's disability of blindness. It can be meals while you're at your workplace. There are other things that can apply as well, but this is a really, really powerful work incentives for individuals who are visually impaired. Next work incentive, or excuse me, next slide. Thank you. So this next slide is called the Plan to Achieve Self-Support. It is also a work incentives for individuals who receive SSI benefits. You don't have to only be receiving SSI to use this work incentive. However, you do have to be eligible for the SSI program. Past goals are time limited and specific, and past requests must result in work activity that will reduce an individual's financial need for Social Security disability benefits. So a lot of times this is going to be something like, I have a specific career goal, and to succeed in that career goal, I need a specific piece of equipment. And so as long as it's approved with Social Security, you can work towards saving for that specific dollar amount to get the specific equipment to achieve your work goal without Social Security penalizing you with that $2,000 asset limit that would otherwise apply to the SSI program. Next slide. Achieving a Better Life Experience, or ABLE. ABLE is not a Social Security work incentives. However, it is a very, very powerful way for individuals whose disability began before the age of 26 to save for qualified life expenses, which an assistive technology device would absolutely qualify as a qualified life expense. Next slide, please. You do not have to be the only person to contribute to an ABLE plan. Your family, your friends, anybody can really donate to your ABLE account once it's set up. Something that's really important to note is effective January 1st, 2026, individuals whose disability began before the age of 46 may qualify for an ABLE account, whereas the current threshold is age 26. And you can learn more about this program by visiting the ABLE National Resource Center or ablenrc.org, or searching under the IRS regulations. Next slide, please. So Drail WIPA services provide WIPA benefits advisement in 15 California counties. However, we are only one of 7 WIPA programs serving the state of California. So your WIPA project may not be mine. Next slide, please. WIPA referral tips. It's always best to have an individual come for benefits advisement prior to employment beginning. And the reason for that is sometimes things can happen really fast. But the paperwork process is kind of sometimes slow. So if we can get that process started before employment begins, it can typically result in a higher success for the individual. And if you have a doubt, absolutely just refer somebody over. Next slide, please. So how do you get connected? There's a lot of different projects, there's a lot of different states, there's a lot of questions. The Ticket to Work helpline is going to be the best way to refer somebody. There is a voice and a TTY phone number, and that will be on the resources that Michelle and the team sent out. Next slide, please. So you can also contact the Drail WIPA team specifically if you're within the 15 county catchment. You're welcome to call us directly. Next slide, please. And for more information about the Ticket to Work program through Social Security, you can visit the choosework.ssa.gov website. Next slide, please. We look forward to working with you. Thank you for listening to this presentation.
You're amazing, Irene. You totally.
Yeah, that was lovely.
329.
Thank you so much. Let me pin myself. Oh, I unpinned. 1 second. So sorry.
I just want to say thank you to all the presenters too, you guys. I know we were trying to smash in a lot of content for you guys, but a good news as always is that slides, flyers, all this information is going to go out via email and posted on our Ability Tools YouTube channel with the recording and transcripts. So please don't feel like you're missing anything if you didn't get everything. We have a little bit of time, Amora, and I just wanted to confirm that we're good to go for whatever you're wanting to share next.
Lovely. I would like to open it up. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that. It's a lot of information, but it's good information. If we were to dive into everything, this would be a 3-hour training, and we don't want to hold you that long. So we're going to follow up with all of this information that you saw today. We put together good resource guides, and when in doubt, you can always just reach out to us at Ability Tools and ask us information, and we can get you to the right place, like Michelle said. But with that, I do want to open it up to questions. We do have a few in the Q&A, and if you wanted to add any more in there, please go ahead and do so. Let me switch this out. There we go. Okay. So Erin was asking, I'm assuming during the AT one for the timing, of what financing options were available to consumers who needed AT. There are a lot. I know you specifically are looking for AT financial loan programs and revolving loan funds. It depends on the disability, and we can guide you, or the current need, and we can guide you in the correct area of like what AT you're looking for, what they're working with without sharing too much of their personal information. Erin, I know you are in our network, so if you want to, I already sent you my email. If you want to just give me a little bit more information on what you might be looking for, we can send you the proper any proper loans or anything. It kind of just depends on the AT specifically.
I could give some tips on that one too. Look up if your individual has a specific disability, look at any agencies that work directly with that disability. So for MS, there is the National MS Association. They have different grants. So try Googling some of those first. Check out any information for your county and your city, or I'm sorry, where the person resides, their city and their county. Sometimes there are CDBG grants that might be available that cover AT. It really depends on the area and what the device is. It's a broad question, so it's hard to answer, but those are some useful tips for anybody to try first. The other things are use your, if you're working and you have an FSA or HSA account, a lot of people don't realize that AT is covered with those HSA funds. So when you are renewing your insurance, consider beefing up that HSA or FSA account because you can purchase all kinds of AT that way. And the nice thing about that is it's taken little by little out of your paycheck, but you have access to those funds depending on how much you want to use throughout the year immediately. So if you set it for $1,000 a year, you will essentially be breaking up those payments throughout the year. But if you're billing it to the HSA or FSA, you can use that 1,000 immediately. So some really great tips, and we can kind of give you some more guidance down the line, but that could be helpful for a lot of folks.
Yeah, thank you,
This is
Michelle. That's
Shi.
a good point.
I also want to add that if this consumer is has a disability and they are interested in employment, here at DOR, we also provide AT equipment as well. So that is also an option.
Excellent, excellent. And I know regional center sometimes, if your client is a regional center client, you can check to see if they can also get AT through there. If they're a student, check to see if they're able to acquire it through their district or through their school. So just some tips, but we can get you more information if you give us some specifics.
Yeah, and I saw that Aaron also mentioned specifically for AT Act financing options, so probably through our ability tools. We have a program on hold. Please hold, and we will have further information specifically through the AT Act ability tools funding.
Yes, yes.
The best answer I have right now, Aaron, is please hold. But I will get you a better one shortly. I also saw that somebody had requested this in Spanish. We will have this information from this YouTube video, the YouTube video that we upload. We're going to have it translated into Spanish as well. So I will let you all know when that is uploaded. I see another question come in. Do you have resources for people that have moderate, severe hearing loss but are not deaf? So basically caught between hearing and deaf. You have your RN degree but consistently find that jobs don't work out due to disability. That is, yes, unfortunately. Also, I'm 57 years old, so I'm not a new grad, and I have impression this webinar is for new grads. This webinar is for everyone, and we can help you. If you want to contact us directly, we can give you a bunch of resources and we can refer you to other areas as well. But we will get you a good list. Again, I'll drop my information in here. I saw earlier that our website contact information is not working because our website is a little wonky at the moment.
I know that there are some resources on the Ability Tools website that might have hearing specific.
Oh, here, I have it right here for you. I'll drop it right now.
Perfect.
But if you have any other information and you want to just kind of chat with us, Michelle and I and Anae are here. This is a good starting point, the one Michelle mentioned. But yes, no, not only for new grads. We can help you all.
And keep in mind that CFILC and Ability Tools, we're kind of the hub, but we will connect you to your local independent living center and connect you with your AT advocates there. And so you'll get a lot of information. Many times it's not a one size fits all, so it's a little tricky, but that's why the device loan and demonstration centers, those are a really good resource. Those are free, so you can check out things from the library. So let's say there is a specific tool that you're wanting to check out from San Diego, but you live up in Eureka. You can make the request online and they can actually ship the device to you, or they could ship it to your local ILC if you're wanting to go and demonstrate it with the AT advocate there. So there's a few different options. And then if there's a local DLDC that is available or ILC that has it, they'll also try to help you get that connection as well. So there's a lot of different tools that are available in the network. Sometimes AT advocates will type out questions on our listservs or our email, trying to get information and trying to network. So what answer you might have gotten today might be different tomorrow because there's constant reuse things that are being donated to centers. So don't give up. Just let us know if you're having any trouble, and we'll do our best to kind of give you some of those resources to start off at.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're when I say email me, it's not because I'm trying to push you off. We can give you way more information on a direct and give you just loads based on what you're looking for. But for the sake of time, yes, all of those are true from Michelle and very helpful. But go ahead and reach out and we can give you all of that rundown that she just gave you with a little bit more notes. It's a lot to take in.
Yes, I'm just trying to double check the chat that we didn't miss any other questions. think I
I
think we've
didn't.
got I think we've got everything so far. We have a couple last minutes, so if you have anything that you want to drop in the Q&A or in the chat, you have us here. We will also make sure that it's in the follow-up email. If there's something that we just don't have access to right now, we can always link it up for you. But I think, yeah, Amor, I think you're good on this side.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks like Anae, thank you for checking, Michelle. It looks like Anae already dropped my last announcement. We're gonna have a follow-up-ish to this. So yes, this one it sounded like it may have been for recent grads, but it's truly for everyone. On that same regard, we do have one that is pointed towards recent grads specifically coming up, but I'm sure it's good information to have in general. It's an upcoming webinar in June, Your Future, Your Tools, AT for the Road Ahead, June 12th. It'll be at 2 p.m. NA has dropped that registration link earlier, and Michelle just dropped it one more time for us, so you don't have to go digging. But yes, I'm excited to see everyone again there. We might mention some things that we mentioned today, maybe go into some other options with ADA. We'll have someone speaking, maybe some college disability centers. So come and see what it's all about, share it, and get the good info. But if you have anything else, go ahead and drop it in the chat. If not, thank you so much for being here. And thank you to all of our panelists. It was amazing. Thank you to our ASL interpreters. You both are lovely, and as well as our captioner. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will wait for some questions if they start coming out, but other than that, we will follow up with, like Michelle said, an email with all this information. We'll have a little bit of a fun interactive quiz for you. So take a look at that email. Otherwise, have a lovely rest of your Tuesday. Hey, everyone.